you wanting to be active, and you've got a contract with a top rank. They've got to get you out this year.
Yeah, so, twice this year.
Is it going to get to a point where you go, listen, get this done, or we need to start looking at plan B, I need to get out?
I'm going to be fighting twice this year, so no matter who it is, I'll fight twice.
Brilliant. If it doesn't happen, is there anyone else you'd bother fighting, or you'd say, chuck him at me, let's go for it?
Anybody really. Wilder Trilogy, that's probably the next best fight out there. Who else is there? Anybody really. It doesn't really matter to me, as long as I keep active.
Yeah. Is there a bit of a sour taste left in your mouth? I know there must be. I know you've said it before. I try not to repeat the same old stuff to you, but the fact that with all the aftermath that he's come out with after this fight, that to have the trilogy with him, is that something that do you want to go into a trilogy with him, or do you think because of the things he said?
I'm not bothered, it's all sticks and stones. I've said some stuff in my life, everyone's said stuff, everyone's done stuff, so I'm not really too interested in what he's got to say. It's the second best fight out there for me right now, financially and for the size of it. There's no other fights to have for right now, so Wilder or Joshua, they're the top two opponents for me, so whoever it is, I don't really care, as long as I get what I'm due, 2 fights this year. So
those are the words of Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, as you heard the man say that if he does not fight Anthony Joshua, he will consider the trilogy fight with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, I know a lot of people are going to jump on this like he just scored a touchdown, right? However, they should. Why? Because Tyson Fury's forever changing, okay? At first, last year, as we heard, I'm never going to fight him again. I'm not fighting him again. That's it. I'm not fighting him again. He disrespected me and my people, so therefore he's out. He Shark Tanked him. Now, all people make mistakes. We say all things, sticks and stones. Doesn't bother me. That is classic Tyson Fury. Now he says that Deontay Wilder is a big, lucrative fight. He says the fight is the best fight past Joshua to make. And he says if that's the fight that we're going to go towards, we will do that. Those are the words of Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Now, what does this mean? That means there's hope for a trilogy fight. There's hope that Deontay Wilder gets his opportunity to fight Fury again. That's the positive side of things, okay? Now you can look at it in another way. Let me give you another perspective. Is that good for boxing? And let me explain. Many people across the globe looked at a trilogy fight with him and Deontay Wilder a waste of time. And then since that fight wasn't going to happen due to the insults and the contract expired and all this, that, and the other, we thought we were just going to go right to the Anthony Joshua fight. Now, first of all, I have to counterpunch this damn reporter because he put it in a situation where, well, what if the fight's not going to happen? He was trying to, play off the fact that Tyson Fury didn't have a tune-up fight. And he allured to the point that, hey, too fast and too easy that, hey, what if the fight doesn't happen and you've been inactive and you need a fight or whatnot. And the more I look at it, he didn't make it any better. And Tyson Fury's talking about Wilder. This is what I see Fury doing now at this point. Fury's now really evaluating what he should do next. Okay? And he's evaluating it to the point of, well, maybe it's not a good idea to go in there with Joshua right now because Joshua is a guy that he may lose to due to inactivity because he admitted through all these times and he didn't exclude himself that these fighters you can get beat despite you being better than that fighter if you're all rusty, right? Which totally contradicts the idea of him fighting Wilder the first time because people thought he wasn't ready. Those 2 tune-up fights it didn't get him in shape enough to beat the Bronze Bomber. You guys remember that? Counterpunch. Okay, so now he's saying that, you know what, maybe I don't have enough time. So what are you saying? I think, hearing what Tyson Fury's saying, I think he would rather fight Deontay Wilder as a tune-up than fight Anthony Joshua later on in the year. And you know something? That would be completely fucked up for Anthony Joshua. Why? Because, see, at this point, Anthony Joshua signed the contract because he thought that Tyson Fury was serious, as you remember him saying. Anthony Joshua, he doesn't fuck around, people. He doesn't. And him hearing stuff like this, I hope that this isn't the case, but it seems like this is the case because Tyson Fury now is saying, hey, you know what? I may need a tune-up and I at least need 2 fights. Now it's not even about the money, right? He went from, hey, I need a retirement check with Anthony Joshua to, I don't care about the money. I'm going to give my money to the homeless. I'm not going to leave my kids anything when I'm gone. That's bad for kids. He's saying this all recently, people. Okay? So it's a big contradiction when you got someone that changes their mind from day to day, from week to week, you know, and it doesn't look good. And it just also shows that, hey, why the hell haven't you signed the contract? So that's the $100 million question right there. Why hasn't he signed the contract? The contracts are already laid out, people. All the things, all the small issues, all the major issues, all issues have been paved away, settled, discussed, counterpunched, signed, sealed, delivered. Well, delivered, but not signed, right? And it's coming down to this man, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Let's move on.
We're already looking at opponents, we're already looking at stuff, so it's one of them things where hopefully we get something sorted quite quickly because no matter who it is, I want to fight in June.
Yeah.
May or June.
See, this is the problem. We're already looking for opponents. We're already looking for other people. Regardless of who it is, we're going to fight in June. Okay, wonderful. Why don't you fight Anthony Joshua in June? Sign the fucking contract and fight Joshua. What are you doing? What you think we've been doing from December to March? They've been negotiating. And now Tyson Fury's sitting there saying, you know what? It doesn't matter who it is. No. You're saying that Joshua was scared after he didn't want to call you out. Now you guys know why. Because Anthony Joshua was like, look, they know what I want. If I say what I want, he sounded like Terrence Crawford. Okay, you guys already know what I want. So if I say it, who do you guys want me to fight? Because I've been saying I wanted to fight the guys with the belts. And I'm tired of calling these dudes out because every time I call them out, it's some bullshit. And guess what? It sounds like some more bullshit right now. Because you're looking at this. Look, Tyson Fury saying it doesn't matter who it is. Well, why don't you make it matter who it is? You know what I mean? If it doesn't matter who it is, you know, that guy's supposed to be so scared or chicken or coward or all those words that he called Anthony Joshua. Now he's the one saying, well, it doesn't matter and we're looking for more other opponents. Why the fuck are you looking for other opponents? Why? I mean, what's the deal with other opponents when you got one of the biggest fights that you can ever make in your life? And now, oh, it's not about the money. Obviously, it's not about the money. It's about something else. And I think that something else is, hey, maybe Tyson Fury doesn't want to admit that, hey, maybe I'm not prepared for this guy due to inactivity. Because the last time he fought was the last time Wilder fought. Maybe it's that. But if that's the case, people, if that's the truth, he needs to come out and say, hey, I don't want to fight Anthony Joshua like this. I want another fight. Give me the Wilder fight. I'll fight that fight because both of us have been out of the ring the same amount of time. So it'll be the same amount of crime. Okay? Maybe we can do that. But fighting Anthony Joshua, it seems like to me, he's getting away from this damn fight. That's what it seems like to me. Let's move forward.
Because you had that spell where you were keeping active in America. You had your little, almost like your second home, or your home setup. You made Vegas your home, you're on the strip, the Tom Schwartz fight, then a tough fight between Otto Wallin, and you were keeping active, and it was sort of noticeable to see in your performances. You seemed sharper as you went on, and then Sugar Hill came along and you implemented that Kronk style. My question is for that, when you're going into the next fight, whoever it is, do you see yourself performing better than you did in the Wilder fight because you're going to have more time to work with Sugar to implement that come forward attacking style?
We'll see. It's a boxing match, you know. It's not rocket science. Pretty simple stuff, actually, boxing, when you know how. And I definitely know how. I've been at this game 13 years undefeated, so I've definitely mastered it, I think. So listen, I'm not really concerned who it is or when it is, as long as it's quite soon. And we get fighting, because there's no point training every day and doing all this work if there's nothing at the end of the tunnel. So, but the way the world is, it's not anyone's fault. It's not promoters. It's not nobody's fault. It's the problem is we're in a fucked up situation at the moment, aren't we? So it's not just me. Everyone's in the same boat.
Well, fingers crossed with this roadmap that Boris has put out. There's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. God willing, there's no.
So he brings up the pandemic. Now understand, he has a point with that. Okay, yeah, it's a messed up society that we're in. We don't know if the fight will be made. Well, we don't know if the fight will actually take place. But understand this, people. To counter that, the fight, make the fight. Okay, make the fucking fight. Sign the contract. That's the thing. See, one thing he did with Deontay Wilder that he has yet to do with Anthony Joshua, sign the fucking contract. Because see, if he signs the contract, you have to prepare for the best. And you know what I mean? And expect, look, prepare for the best and take heed on the things that could possibly happen for the worst. Right? So those are those things that I feel that Tyson Fury is failing to realize. Have some faith, will you? Okay, so if you sign the contract, make sure that's the fight that you're going to fight. Because this is not looking good, people. This looks like, to me, where he's saying, well, you know what, regardless of what fight it is, well, that's not a good enough. That sounds like some shit that you're trying to get out of this fight. You're trying to basically do what he did with Wilder. Because remember, with Wilder, the only reason he didn't fight Wilder last year was the fact that, oh, well, I don't want to wait that long. You're still waiting. Right? Wilder waited. I don't know what really Wilder did, because he went underground and wherever the hell he went for the longest. But Tyson Fury was out there training with Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill came over, you know, to the UK, and he trained with Tyson Fury. Then to come to find out the fight's not happening, and they kept pushing and pushing and pushing in the networks and all that. And he said, you know what, I need a fight, and they got a fight. Remember, Get Caballero was supposed to be his opponent, and all of a sudden that shit didn't work, and it fell through. So I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you fight Deontay then? Then all of a sudden your excuse was, oh, he talked about my people. I'll never fight him again. Now you're saying you will. Contradiction, contradiction, and contradiction. Me summing this all up, people. If Tyson Fury's worried about Anthony Joshua, he just needs to admit it, but I doubt that. But don't bullshit, people. Because we see actions, and the actions, you haven't fought anybody. You're supposed to fight Wilder, didn't fight Wilder. Then Caballero didn't fight Caballero. Now these negotiations have been going since Joshua, really since June of last year. And now you're saying, oh, well, I don't care who it is as long as it's in June, but we don't know what will happen. Maybe Wilder's trilogy may be the best. Like, what is going on with Tyson Fury? You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's comments towards this interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.